Hey, what's up, Amar? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you? How are you? What is
Good.
we are how's your Monday treating you so far? And we got a good number of folks here today. I like
Hey,
that. It's
what's
pretty
up,
good.
everybody?
Hey man, you guys drop a comment. Let us know what you're thinking as we're talking. But I want to just start off with I think all of us are pretty disappointed with the way the Packers played yesterday. I think offensively we had our hiccups, but at the end of the day, I felt like Jordan did make some plays when he needed to. I felt like he did enough. I felt like even on offense, there were things that you had two receivers in the same area running the wrong kind of misassignments, not giving Aaron Jones the ball enough in the second half. But
Absolutely.
my biggest gripe is really Joe Barry and Matt LaFleur. And I say Matt LaFleur now because after his press conference today where he's talking about, he kind of spends the whole time. Yesterday he was very deflective about making any decisions on DC on the defensive coordinator because he's like, I need to look at the film. And I'm like, all right, bro, I get that. I completely understand that. But you were watching the game like we were. The only difference is that you were on the sideline watching that game, and we were over here watching it from our couches. And we all could see the same thing, that this defense was getting ate up. And if you talk to anyone that breaks down film, every person said that it wasn't like they were doing something crazy. They were literally doing simple ways to beat our zone covers. It was like they just schemed out, and basically got outcoached on every. And the problem that kills me about that is that LaFleur yesterday put the blame on himself, and then today was like, well, we had mistakes across all phases of the game. And feel like when he does that, he's absolving Barry. Like Barry wasn't, Barry was bad, but he wasn't the only thing that was bad. Everything was bad. And it's like, bro, okay, I get that. But like for him to make that statement to say that he's going to keep him at DC, I understand people are like, if you fire Joe Barry, who comes in? And what I'm trying to explain to folks is that we've had 3.5 years of Joe Barry. Have we seen
Mhm.
anything that makes you feel like him playing the next 3 games is really going to do any difference for us? And the
No.
truth is, we still control our destiny. We truly control our destiny. We have the ability to still go to the playoffs if we win out. And I have a bad feeling that this guy, it's going to be like that game that the Chargers had against the Raiders,
Yeah.
where like
Yeah.
62 points, something insane that gets everybody fired. And I'm like, I don't want to see Matt LaFleur go, but I'm going to finish my closing opening statement here with saying that the fact that he's hitching his wagon to him and he's just not making the decision he's to make, which is getting rid of him, and he should have probably not brought him back last year. And the
Yeah.
fact that you're seeing
Exactly.
Brian Flores come into Minnesota, take the worst defense in the league, and he has them humming as a top 5 defense with less talent than us. And you're going to tell
Yeah.
me that you could have made that kind of decision here. So for me, my biggest thing is right now I am truly starting. I'm out on the floor. I'm out on Barry, and I'll be honest with you guys. I'm a diehard Packers fan. I was born into it. I'll die into it. But if as long as Barry's as our defensive coordinator, my fandom, my like viewing and me like putting on Green Bay Packers shit is gonna probably go down a lot because I just can't do it. Like even with Dom Capers and all his like minuses and negatives,
Yeah.
he still brought a Super Bowl to Green Bay. He had a top 5 defense. He had pedigree. He
Yeah.
created Blitzburg. This guy Joe Barry has not created anything, but probably
No.
kids with Ron Marinelli's daughter. That's it. That's the only thing he's ever created that's worth a damn. Because this is just garbage, and I'm done. I'm done. I'm over the floor, and I'm over Barry. I'm really starting to lose faith
I
in his leadership.
I feel you there. I got some things to say about LaFleur, some thoughts I had. Uh, I'll get in. I'll get into my opening thoughts here. In my opinion, this was a must-win football game. Like we are, like you said, in a sense, kind of in control of our destiny. But there is some things that might need to go our way. I understand if we win out, we would almost certainly be in the playoffs, but it is no longer a guarantee, right? So this is 2 weeks in a row that this team has not been ready. And this comment is strongly directed at the defense. Special teams had their gaffes in the Big Apple, right?
Mhm.
The offense at times has been mid, as the kids say these days. Love has missed on some easy throws the last few weeks, a couple of weeks. What's up with that? Is this a happy foot situation? Is he getting too far away from some of his foundational skills? We've seen those comparisons, right, with Favre and Rodgers about not setting his feet and throwing at different angles and side arming. Is he, I would have to go back and watch tape, I guess, and really examine some of those throws that have been off the last 2 weeks. There was a month there where he just seemed really on. Um, This not only looks like the youngest team in the league, but it looks like one of the poorest coach teams in the league too. Just wanted to get that out there. I think LaFleur either needs to go back to being an offensive coordinator or hire a real offensive coordinator so that he can focus more on being a head coach. I think he's got a lot to develop in the head coach department, and that shit is getting neglected due to his responsibilities to this team's offense. He could be great at either, but not both, in my opinion. So outside of that, Joe's got to go. Rich Bisaccia, I could go either way on right now. And as for LaFleur, right, he needs to delegate some of his responsibility and focus on being a head coach. Personally, though, I like having a dog as a head coach. I like having my nerds and the stats dudes running the offense. I like the psychopaths orchestrating the defense, and special teams need someone young, hungry, and innovative. We got our coaches in the wrong spots. Joe Barry belongs nowhere, though. Just want to say that. Do we need to say any more about Joe tonight?
A little bit more, but I think you did a great job there. I have to admit, you did a great job, because the truth is you're right, man. Like it's one of those things where we've seen this team have it's been at its highs and be at its lows. And there's something you said about Jordan Love too, which I agree with. Like if you watch like Hard Knocks Miami and you look at the way they talk about Tua and his base. Like when he comes out of his drop, he gets like a real strong base and then he lets it go, right? He's not heel clicking. And so I know Jordan has gone away with off-platform throws. I mean, that's what he's good. That's what he's known for. That's what he came out of Utah State with, right? And part of me is like, there's some fundamentals that he needs to kind of really get back to, because him not like kind of setting his feet and letting it go, it's like he can only get away with this, like, you know, his God-given ability of being a thrower. He can only get away with it for so long. And a part of me is with you where, like, just the team as a whole, you know, like they have their moments. Like I have to admit, like I'm really looking forward to next year too, because next year, wow, like, dude, Dontavian Wicks, wide receiver 1, Reed, wide receiver 1, Tucker Kraft. That's what kills me about this team. Like these guys, when they get an opportunity, they light it up. It's like they play this fucking hierarchy game. Like they did the same shit last year with all the veterans, right? All the veterans need to get playing time, you know, because that's Rodgers. He wanted Lazard and all that. But truth is, like these other young guys can really play. But we were starting Musgrave, and then he had Josiah DeGuara playing. DeGuara was absolutely garbage. But you put in Tucker, dude. Tucker looks like a bona fide tight end.
Dude, and I love that guy.
He is a beast, dude. Like the way he plays with his head on fire. And he even said it. He goes, I think he was like, you know, he's more of a Gronk guy, right? And then you got Musgrave was more like a Kelsey guy. And I'm like, dude, you got both of that? I'm like, you literally got Aaron Hernandez and Gronkowski literally in Green Bay, but without the murdering. I mean, that's amazing. Hey, sign me the fuck up, dog. I'm down with that. And yo, you're Joe Barry. Joe Barry got to go. It's funny as shit because I just, you know, what scares me is like, yeah, like we could win out. What scares me is that we could win out, and like let's say he blankets Bryce Young, right? Yeah. They like score like 3 points and 0 points, something crazy. Everyone's gonna get right back on the train with Barry. And I'm like, he should do that with that team. That team is garbage. Like the fact that they beat Atlanta in a rainstorm, right? I'm just like, that's expected. Now, what he does in Minnesota and Chicago will be a big difference. But what really scares me about this is where we will go and if Joe Barry's retained next year, because I'm like, even Matt said it. Matt's like, I've seen them execute this defense. I've seen them do it. And I'm just like, even at their best, they're an average defense. And how are you okay with mediocrity? And that's where it comes down to this whole, like, if you're a real leader and you're a leader of people, you have to know when you have to cut weight, and you have to know when you have to make a decision about, hey, sorry, this isn't going to work out because I'm not getting what I need from you. Anybody in a management position knows that. And like you just said, he doesn't delegate. I think he delegated a lot before. Yeah. And then he realized that, like, you know, things weren't going right. He had to go forward for it. Now he's trying to get more involved in the weeds. And now he's talking about things that are getting missed that were installed on day one. And I'm like, okay, well, then that goes back on coaching on both sides. And that means, like, do we need to make clean house altogether? I don't want that. I think Matt LaFleur is a good coach. I think he could be a great head coach. But I agree with you. It's one of those things where he definitely needs to learn how to manage the team, then like letting the team manage him in a sense, right? And we're stuck right now. These last 2 weeks have been really eye-opener to me, and just watching this. Like, did you see what the Giants happened to the Giants against the Saints? They
Yeah,
sacked
I
him
watched
7
that.
times, bro. Like they
Yeah,
embarrassed him.
I was just
And
like, dude.
like what? Like, and then you literally had this dude Baker Mayfield have the. This is what kills me is like people defend him. I'm like, wait, Joe Barry has now probably made 3 or 4 offenses, maybe 4 offenses this year look like freaking like the Los Angeles Rams greatest show on turf, right?
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
gave him the best offensive yardage output, giving him all this like accolades, giving him like NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Week awards, and we're
Yeah.
sitting here like. Oh, I can't, dog. True North Packer fan. I don't know if I can do it, man. I could try. I could talk about getting somebody else fired, but I don't know. I'll do my best, man. So I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna stop. I am just sick and tired of just seeing our team have all this talent and potential, and the mediocrity that comes out of it. It just fucking drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
So where do we go from here, right? We gotta like, it doesn't stop. So we got to prep for Carolina, and it is do or die against the worst team in the NFL. It has come down to this. This is the scenario we will watch on Christmas Eve. The fate of the season hangs in the balance of this game. Like that's your Christmas Eve, man. Like for me, being out here on the West Coast, I think it starts at 10 a.m. So it's like I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna cook a good breakfast, and watch the football season hopefully take a turn for the better right now.
I'm at a loss to. Was that to hear someone knocking? No, right? Okay.
Oh,
I was gonna say that was your glass. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm at a loss of words just with the way everything is going on right now, and the fact that we do have. It's literally last year all over again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're probably gonna win these next 2 games. We're gonna somehow beat Minnesota. We're gonna do something stupid, okay? And then Chicago's gonna come to Green Bay. And they're gonna beat us. And then not only are we gonna lose the game and not make the playoffs, but then we're gonna have Chicago fans up our ass talking shit for the whole offseason. And I don't want it. I really don't want it. I already know this. So all I know is that we have to prepare now for Carolina, and Carolina is not like they're a good defense now. Their defense is legit. It's just their offense is really not that great. But my thing is like Joe Barry makes everybody's offense look good. So I'm just kind of like,
yeah. Oh, I can't hear you.
I don't know why I did that. That's weird.
Oh. All right.
So, but like you said, like looking to the future, really need to see us because Bryce Young can move, and you saw Joe Barry, man. He can't stop a running quarterback to save his life, unless it's Justin Fields, the only one he can stop, right? So I don't know, like the fact that he retained Joe Barry after everything and the way he did it by like just excusing everything, I have just a really bad taste now in my mouth. It's hard for me to like just to get up for this like I used to. It's just man. Seeing Rashawn Gary on the bench by himself after everybody left, he's just sitting there despondent. Yeah. That's me now. That's me. He's just like this. He's just like that's me, dog. I'm just like that right now. So what do you think?
Yeah, man.
We got a good chance.
They're all winnable games. I am not feeling optimistic right now. I did not think we would drop these 2. I thought these were the 2 hardest games left on our schedule. I thought we would go 1-1, but the Bears are actually not playing that bad, right? The Vikings defense, right? You pointed out the Vikings are playing great defense, and it just seems like we've, how many times have we scored around 20 points or just over 20 points this game? And it's just like we've shown that we're going to make mistakes on special teams, defense, and offense that will put the team in better position sometimes. So even if our defense is playing decent, we're mistake prone. And that, I don't want to be like, oh, it's because we have the youngest team anymore. It's like, no, man.
Week 15, you can't make that excuse anymore, right?
Yeah, it's like this weighs more on coaching for me. But how do we turn this around? How do we turn this around? Like, how do we, because there is, if we win out, it's like a 98% chance we make the playoffs. So what the hell do we need to do to turn it around? Like let's solutions. Let's get in that mindset, man.
All right. So solutions, I feel personally, offensively they really need to find a way to reduce the errors. Because even Tucker Kraft said it. He goes, "We are our worst enemy. We can't. We have to be on our keys. We have to make sure we're making the right plays, right calls. We're doing what we need to be doing week in and week out to make sure that we're putting ourselves in the best position to win." Right. So offensively, it's sad to say, but you have to score. You have to score on every drive, and you had to really just play mistake-free football, which is damn near impossible. But I feel like we have the talent there. I think Aaron Jones came out pretty healthy, so hopefully he'll get more carries. Right, Dontavian Wicks, it just is just a beast. And Reed got more banged up in this game, and he kept playing. And maybe we get Watson back. I think it's funny where those 3 weeks of us really clicking on offense had a lot to do with Watson. And
Yeah.
for me, if he can get back this week, that could help us a lot because he definitely brings a dynamic to our offense that we really don't have.
Yeah.
And I think the best way of saying it, getting our groove back is getting Watson back. I really feel like that's going to really
Okay.
open things up.
Yeah, it's just like when will Dylan be ready? Like with the thumb, you hope he is going to be back, but then also it's like don't risk like ball security by coming back because like that's the last thing I need is Dylan to drop the ball and because every moment's going to be a big moment now from here on out. It's like the pressure is for real. It's like you're saying like what's Watson and Musgraves, ETA, one of the coming back like. We need these guys to turn it around. I feel like will Ja be back at all? Like Todd said there, I think some Packers players have quit on Berry. Is that what's going on with? Is that what's going on with Ja right now? Is he like, man, like screw this? Like,
so what do you think about that? Because I have an opinion on that, and based on what some people have said too, what do you think?
I think he's, he's just like.
You think he's checked out?
I don't think he's completely checked out. I think he's not 100%. And I think in a normal situation, if he felt like this is a good situation to come back, I would risk coming back at 85, percent. I would risk coming back with not being 100%. I think, though, it's just like I'm not going to go out there and play this bullshit scheme. I don't want to go out there and play with a style I don't agree with. Yep. I know what's best for my style of play. John knows Ja best, right? And I bet you he knows what he needs to do, and they're not going to let him do that with the way they're scheming. And he's just like, he's like, oh, I'm going to take care of my health then. I'm not going to put my body at risk to play this style anymore. I can't blame the guy, for wanting to take care of his health, but some people might have a different perspective on that. But that's just kind of how I feel, and I could be way off, but I think he's taking care of himself more than anything.
I can see what you're saying there because even LaFleur said, because they asked him directly, like, hey, he's been out now, 4 or 5, 6 weeks now, right? And he goes, wouldn't it be better to put him on IR? Is this more about him just not wanting to play, or is it a miscalculation on his injury? And LaFleur's like, it was definitely a miscalculation. We thought the injury would get better in time, and it didn't. And because of that, even though he's practicing, he doesn't have confidence in his shoulder. And it's very similar to the injury that he had in 2021 when he tackled Najee Harris and he literally broke his shoulder, right? Yeah. So something he's done to his rotator cuff of his shoulder has really messed him up. I understand he's done all the social media stuff and all this and that, where he's like removed all the Packer stuff from there. I personally believe that he doesn't want to play, A, because if he's banged up and he plays poorly, reflects on him, correct? B, I think what you said was right too, where comes back and plays in the scheme, which is not utilizing him to his strengths because he's a press man corner, right? He's not a zone guy. I mean, he plays well in zone, but he's a press man corner. He likes to get in people's faces. He likes to take the action to them. He's not a passive guy by any means. Okay.
Yeah, it's a way for him to assert himself, right?
Yes, right. I mean, that's the thing though. So I'm like, part of me's kind of like, all right, so then like. So, yeah, why would you go back out there knowing, A, your shoulder's fucked up where, like, you may not be able to do what you need to do as a corner, right? You can't tackle properly. You can't, engage receivers properly without, like, your shit getting hurt. And then on top of that, too, you got your man who's, like, probably going to be playing you off and this and that 10, 15 yards. Or, as we saw, like, the post by The Onion about folks being in the damn Milky Way and shit, like, that was too damn good. But all I know is that I don't think he's a guy who's quit on the team. I don't know what's going on between him and LaFleur. I know they got a little like maybe just miscommunication going on, but truthfully, I just think that he's just not 100%, and he is the dude that like he has played injured, and we did see what happened when he played injured. Like when he played injured in that divisional game against the Niners, he couldn't make the tackle on Debo because his shoulder still broke. It fucked up, right? He had been out for 3 months and still wasn't right, and I could see him. He wanted to do it, but he's like, shit, I'm gonna be out again. And dude, I don't know. Dog's not the kind of dude I feel like he's too like not petite is not the right word to use, but because he's like a more of a smaller stature corner. The one thing that a guy like him cannot lack in is heart. So what I mean by that is like he has to have a lot of heart to play that position at the size that he's at. So for me, I'm kind of like, that's definitely not that. It more so is the injury is really bad, as well as like he's just sick and tired of this Joe Barry scheme. And trust me, like honestly, like that's why I think I've said this before, where I feel like there's guys on our team that who might be better. They look bad right now. They look bad because they're banged up or they just don't play well in the scheme. And that's another thing, like where the coaches is like, they blame the players, like, oh, execution or missed call or communication. Basic communication's fucked up. I'm like, well, if it's communication, who's that on? That's on the coach, right? Like I'm thinking, like, how does this always fall back on the players? But I understand players are 50%, but the coaches have to put them in the right position. They have to be able to give them the right calls. Like that's their job, right? So I think from this Jair thing, I mean, it sucks that it's kind of gone to what it has, and I feel bad for him because he probably is getting a lot of heat that he shouldn't get because really his whole career he's never been the kind of dude to like not play because of like some bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he'll play through things. So it's kind of like, why are we questioning him now? Like, I think everyone's just mad because the team's not playing well, and we're all just pissed at like D-Bach not playing, Jaws not playing. You know what I'm saying? Like people are hurt and they're taking all this money, and it's like, hey man, it's NFL. Everyone's hurt. That's the way it is.
Yeah, man. You're not, it's a few weeks in. Everybody's, nicked up a little bit, man.
Yeah.
By week 3, you're not 100. You're not 100%, but for the rest of the season,
exactly. I think and that's tough, man. Like people want to get banged up about it. I'm like, well, come on, man. Like, give me one NFL team that's fully healthy right now.
Yeah.
Everyone has injuries. Even like shit, like the 49ers, they lost their starting safety. They've lost many players on defense, and they've lost players on offense throughout the year too. So I'm like, come on, like everyone that's even right now. Look at the Eagles. I mean, freaking Jalen Hurts is playing with the probably MCL sprain, and he has like the flu, and he's still trying to gut it out. I mean, every team that's like good or bad have things going on. It's just how you adapt and move, adapt and be able to persevere through those things. And I think right now the Packers are. I don't think the injury is an excuse for us because we've been down players for a while now. We've won games this way, so I just don't know why we play down the competition, man. I just don't get it.
And we've won big games, in those moments too, where it's like everything's on the line and we're beaten up, and so is this what I guess we get Carolina? So I hope that we go down there and we execute and we don't screw up our basic communication.
You would hope so, man. Shoot.
But like thinking about this stretch now, right? We go down to Carolina to play the Panthers. Then we go to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Then we come home to play the Bears. So give me 2 guys for the next 3 games. So that need to have, they need to be big all 3 games. So a big 2 for the next 3, but no Love.
Okay.
No, obviously he's got to be big.
Yeah,
right?
he has to be. Yeah.
So that's
given. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna say Love. So so just drop a guy in the comment section as well. If you got somebody, 1 or 2 guys that you think need to be big for the next 3. But do you have anyone that comes to your mind? Right away?
Yeah.
All right.
Like off the bat, like I think getting a healthy Aaron Jones back and getting him. And we've never, ever given this guy more than freaking 15, 20 touches.
Yeah.
So Aaron Jones would be my guy on offense, and then Rashawn Gary on defense. I mean, those are 2 big guys where I feel like they're the ones that really need to bring it these next 3 weeks. And Kraft and Wicks, I mean, I've been talking about them all day, all night right now, so I didn't want to keep bringing them up. But if we keep getting like, think about that. Like Watson comes back, you got Watson, you got Dobbs, you got Reed, you got Wicks, you got Kraft, and hey, Musgrave might come back too because they said that his kidney laceration wasn't as bad, like it was a grade 2, which means that it's like a 4-week recovery, and he's already there. So I was like, we get him back too. I'm just saying, you get healthy at the right time. And the thing is, like, what did you say? 98% chance to make this playoffs
if we win all 3. Yeah.
If we win all 3. And but I'm with True North Packer fan here, where he's like, part of me is okay with us losing that as long as we get rid of Barry. And I gotta admit, like, if Barry had got fired today, that would have been my Super Bowl. That would have been my Super Bowl, and then I would have showed my boobs. That's how I was gonna show my boobs. I was gonna do everything, man. I was gonna hook you guys up, but no joke. Like, definitely, those are my 2 main guys, and they're veterans, right? Like Gary and Aaron Jones, because you could say rookies like Todd did, but the truth is, like, they're contributing every week. Like, they are just Goody really killed it with this draft and last year's draft. Like, I'm very impressed. The Quay and Devontae Wyatt, I'm not sure of. I'm, like I said, until Barry's gone and we get an actual legit DC in here, I'm going to give everybody a benefit of doubt, even Savage.
All right. Well, Van Ness, Todd, you're saying Van Ness is ready to break out on defense, would help pass rush. I agree with that one. Van Ness was somebody that I was thinking about too, for my 2. And the first one, I'm going to start on defense. I'm going to go Devondre Campbell.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You know, we need him to grab that defense and take control of them out there on that field. I appreciate that guy so much. I hope he can stay healthy down this stretch. And he's
bad, man. He's so bad.
Yeah.
Quay looks so. But the thing is, I'm with you, bro. They both were hurt. Like, Quay they said that his shoulder is so bad that he can't even put it up over his arm or something over his shoulder.
Man.
Like, his arm is he can't even raise it. And then Devondre had the high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, that's his second one in 2 years. Like, dude, I'm like, no wonder he's like looking like just not himself, bro. I agree though. Todd's right. Todd's 100% put that up there. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
McDuffie should have been there. I completely agree. Because McDuffie's gonna make mistakes, but he makes them at 150,000 miles an hour. Like, he's like a speed bullet. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that's the thing is just like I want Campbell to be so good, but like what's with his injury history here, it's just like how good is he going to be? But that's to me like we need a Christmas miracle. I don't know, but
it might be over real. You ain't lying, dog.
He's just like when he's on, man. This defense can play a little bit better, and that's the thing, man. Is I think we have some playmakers on this defense, right? Like Devondre, right? Kenny Clark. That's why Joe Barry is still here. It's like we had these guys playing their heart out, right? Making big plays here and there for over the last few years. And it was just like McCarthy was here longer than I felt like he needed to be because of Rodgers, so it's just like now with, Kenny, kind of in the twilight of his career, Campbell beat up, just kind of like, I'm not going to risk this anymore for this. Yeah. We're seeing Joe Barry's, defense completely exposed now because I feel like those playmakers aren't there. And so that's my Christmas miracle that Campbell will wake up healthy and make some plays over the next 3 weeks.
Hopefully,
yeah.
Shit, man.
and then my other one is I have to agree with Todd is Kraft, man. We found something there, man, and he's starting to get into it, and he's a beast, man, and he likes, he's gonna punish you if he's blocking. He's gonna punish you if he's running with the ball. He's not afraid of contact. We need a Christmas miracle, boys. We're playing the Panthers. I'm talking about running the table here. That's.
He's like, hold on, I'm on a whole nother level, dog.
yeah. But no, I hope that we go down there and we make it look easy. But yeah, so Kraft, I want to continue to see him, man. I really like him. Like, seems like we've been scheming for him, and it seems like him and Love have a connection.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to do a live stream a game sometime where every time Kraft touches the ball, I'm going to eat a Kraft single slice of cheese.
As long as you're not lactose intolerant, that'd be all right.
I'm not, man. I'm a true Wisconsinite, man. So,
there you go. Yeah.
But
same. Yeah.
So those are my two big. Those are my two big, man. Two that we need to see play to their best abilities. Obviously, Love. So let's talk about Love. What does Love need to do going forward here?
Well, I just, a part of me is, they said that Josh Myers probably had the worst game of his career, right? And they said that like his PFF grades were like 35 and 40. Like Ryan Schlip of the Pack Daddy, he said that dude just gave up. And Vita Vea was whooping his ass, right? And so was Clancy, who's the rookie defensive tackle. They call him Aaron Donald Jr. because he came from Pitt, the whole 9 yards. Really, really good football player, okay? And like every quarterback, I don't care if it's Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, I don't care who it is, inside pressure fucks them all up. I mean, it's just the way it is, right? And there were times where like he had a clean pocket and he was kind of like bouncing around way too much. But in those games that you saw with Kansas City, you saw them with Detroit, you saw with even the Chargers, he was able to like not let the rush impact him. Even though, let's be honest, his numbers with and without pressure are good. Like he plays well. I just felt like sometimes he'll have errant throws because he kind of rushes things and he doesn't let, he just kind of he didn't have a real good feel for the game in that first half. In that second half, it took him a while to kind of get right. And LaFleur needs to come out with his scripted plays. He needs to find a way to get Jordan Love comfortable. I don't know how he's going to do that, but like I agree, going from 30 jet sweeps to 0 jet sweeps was probably not the right decision. Like try to find a little equal medium there, but Love just needs to play his game, but he needs to know like he can't forget how he got here. Like if that makes sense. Like he's a top 10 quarterback, like from a statistical perspective and even fantasy wise. His numbers are really good, identical to Rodgers when he was a first year starter. And so for me, I agree with Todd. Like his progression from where he was in week 1 to where he is now, it's night and day, man. Like even from last week to this week, he missed that throw to Dobbs, but then he makes that throw to Reed.
Yeah.
And I just want to keep seeing those little improvements. But the problem is like his offense line needs to give him time. Like the line needs to give him time. If they don't give him time, I'm telling you, Carolina's front four is no joke. Brian Burns and Derek Brown are two legit football players. They come from really good programs, and there's a reason why they're both drafted in the first round. And they will fuck up your game, and you got to have a plan for them because looking at that way that defense is set up and the way like the Buccaneers was.
Yeah.
He's Evero does the same kind of style as Vic Fangio. He's like the Joe Barry tree, but Evero's actually a good DC. Like he's proven that by doing that in Denver, right? So like for me, I'm just like, you gotta know. And the thing is, maybe this will be good for Love because he knows the defense, and if that makes sense, right? Because it's similar to Barry's.
Yeah.
So maybe hopefully he'll be able to kind of handle the things that come to him, but we need an answer for those two big guys. We have an answer for those two. We have a good chance. And that's why I just want Love to get comfortable. That's it. I just want him to get comfortable. He gets comfortable, dude. I have no qualms with him whatsoever.
All right. So you were saying earlier that, the offensive line is been getting pushed back a little bit more and Love's been having to rush more throws. Maybe that's part of the responsibility for some of those errant throws. Was he, because once you start getting a little more pressure, even when there isn't pressure, sometimes you still rush your throw. And so I'm curious to know, if we get that offensive line going, Love gets locked back in. And like you said, get those scripted plays. I totally agree with that too. Get those, his best plays in that script, get an opening drive, whether it's the opening drive or coming out of half. Love's got it. I think everyone's is impressed enough where we need to give him more time. And I think with certain coaching or new coaching that could be introduced, at the end of this season. Hopefully,
Hey.
we can see even more progression, right?
Truno told me to chill out on the Joe Barry talk about firing, so I ain't saying shit. I'm leaving it alone.
No. Joe Barry's got nothing to do with the progression of Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
that.
saying right, because earlier I was like, LaFleur's got to get a real offensive coordinator in there or something, in my opinion.
You can actually run the offense, right? Like
that runs the offense, and then he can just be head coach.
I wonder, because look at Mike McCarthy, right? Like Mike McCarthy and him have those similarities where they were offense coordinators, they were play callers, they came into head coaching jobs, they did play calling. Differences, McCarthy did give a play calling for a little bit, but then he took it back same year when Tom Clements was calling plays, right? Yeah. But I feel like these guys, when they've kind of come up a certain way, they are control freaks, right? And they probably have a hard time letting go of things like that. Like Kyle Shanahan will never go play calling because no one's going to call a game like he will call it, right? Same thing with McVay, same thing with LaFleur. I feel like all these guys have this thing about them where, this is what got me here, this is what I'm going to do, right? And even look at Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick doesn't call defense, right? He has Jared Mariota for that, right?
Yep.
And his son, some nepotism shit there too. But he has his son there. But his son clearly knows what he's doing. He's not like a dummy, right? And I think you do have the hot coaches. Look at John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh don't call shit. He's a special team coordinator who became a head coach, and he trusts the guys that he puts in place to do that. I see where you're going because you're like, hey, maybe you can get more value as a head coach by letting somebody else do it, so that you could be more in tune with these basic communication errors that are happening across both sides of the field. Shit, even on special teams, even the special teams weren't really that bad this time around. But I'm just saying, maybe his involvement in that can be different. And that's the thing, though. Maybe it might be good for him. It might fuck him up because it's not his normal.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I know I do better at, tasks or my work or my job when I have less shit to worry about. So that's, I hope, I hope we go that direction at the end of this year. But I'm just thinking here, though, a week from today is Christmas Day, so we won't be on. I'm taking the night off at least.
No, we'll take it off. No, we'll take it off. Yeah, no, we'll take it off. We can either piggyback. We can try to see if we do another day, and we can do Tuesday or Wednesday. We can do whatever. It's fine by me, man. I was gonna say Christmas Day. Let's take it off. Let everyone enjoy themselves and have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and whatever Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I hope you have a great one. But yeah, we'll take that one off. But man, if we win, man, we might need to find a way. I don't know. We might need to find a way. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Well, holiday plans. What do you you got any plans?
Man, dude. So Thanksgiving and Christmas is really big on my wife's family side, right?
Yeah.
So more than likely we're hosting a Christmas Eve party at our house. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that should be a lot of fun.
Right on.
So we're doing that, and then that'll be Christmas Eve. Then we'll probably do Christmas here at home, and my friends all want to get together the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So try to figure out how we can kind of work out those details. And the kids are off school starting Wednesday or Thursday. They're off school. So because of that, I'm just like, all right, well, I'll be on day duty and working. So, but all in all, it won't be too bad. And those are kind of the gist of our plans. It'll be pretty simple. But then we go, and then the following week, Wednesday through Saturday, we're going to go to Disney World, just my wife and I, and leaving the kids at home with in-laws and just, have have a little thing ourselves just to enjoy, So I'm looking forward to that. What about you? What are you getting yourself into?
All right. Well, my school district already started winter break. So
oh shit, nice.
Yeah, man. They do it up here. We always get 2.5 weeks, man. We have a shorter summer break, but that doesn't bother me. I like having the time off during the winter. We are also hosting a Christmas Eve party. So my sister-in-law and her family moved to town this year. So now my in-laws from Arizona decided they wanted to come up here for Christmas to Washington State. So they're coming up here to visit us, and we're going to throw a Christmas Eve party, and then my sister-in-law is going to throw a Christmas Day party. But I plan on watching a lot of sports. So obviously, we got Packers, Panthers. For me, it starts 10 a.m. I love it. So it's just going to be breakfast and it's on Christmas Eve day. So I'm going to cook breakfast and I'm going to be getting ready to host a party after the game. We're going to start. I told my wife, like, let's start the party after the game. So people don't have to see me either get mad or cry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually pretty calm when I watch the game. If I start,
are you really?
Yeah,
I can see that though. You seem like you'd be pretty chill for the most part.
Yeah, I live in Washington State for a reason, and
I figured that.
It's my medicine though, and I just chill and if I get antsy watching the game, I'll just hold my baby and I'll pace back and forth. He likes walking around the house anyways, and so it's a way for me to pace off my anxiety watching the game. But it's rare, and it hasn't been this season because we haven't been in any big moments. But besides that, man, I know like the 23rd, there's like a handful of college like bowl games on the 23rd. Right. So I'm going to be watching college football on the 23rd. I'm going to be watching, NFL football Christmas Eve. And then at Christmas Day, we got some NFL going on too, don't we?
Yeah, I was going to say we have a lot of football this weekend.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'm really looking forward to that. That's for sure.
Yeah, and so Raiders Chiefs on Monday night. Yeah. Man, they did it up. Raiders Chiefs, Giants Eagles, Ravens Niners on that Monday night. I think Ravens Niners could be a preview of the Super Bowl, but
it could be. That could be the old Harbaugh brother competition, right?
Yeah.
The both teams are humming, man. I was like, Baltimore, they're hitting their stride, and the Niners have been kicking ass, right? So
yeah, that's the betting favorite in Vegas right now for a Super Bowl matchup. The betting favorite is Ravens Niners. Like you said, they're they got the big records, and they're both playing their best football of the season right now. But yeah, it's my holiday plans are just hang out with my family and watch sports.
Same. Hell yeah, man. I feel you on that. Sounds like a perfect holiday weekend plan for me. I know that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's yeah. But I guess other than that, last words, man, right?
Last words? All right. I went last time I went first for last words. So you go this time.
Okay, I'll go first here. I probably got my hopes up a little bit too much, too quick there with the Packers. Mm-hmm. I was pretty excited. I let my emotions, I'm an optimistic guy. So I think when things go right, I feel even better than I normally do. And so I try to stay out of the pessimistic way. And I'm trying to hold on to, if we win 3 games. But at the same time, last words here is just like, I'm just going to keep appreciating the season for what it is. We got a really young team. We got a crappy coaching staff, in my opinion. And I think we're going to see that get shaken up this offseason. So I just want to keep seeing progression with love, and let's go win a couple because, the Packers Bears might be our Super Bowl. Who knows?
It could be.
But come on, man. How good is that for football, though? If that's what it is, like Packers playoff hopes are on the line, the last game of the weekend. And the Bears fans then might make us eat shit sandwiches till next season if that's what happens. But I want to see a meaningful 17 games, and either way, I'm just gonna try and enjoy the ride, man.
Hey, man, you nailed it. You nailed it because the truth of the matter is, this whole year was supposed to be a year of just seeing how everything's gonna work out. Playoffs was not even an expectation. It was like almost like a pipe dream. It still might be. But to see where our team is offensively, see where Jordan Love is, to see where we have progressed as a team, I think, it's going to be fun just to see how we close out the season, see if we do get some more games, just so we can watch our team some more. Yeah. But I'm really happy with just the way things have kind of gone when it comes from offensively, seeing Jordan Love, seeing our weapons, seeing the development. And I do think the sky's the limit. I just really hope that some decisions are made to where, the team as a whole can benefit from it. But I'll remain positive. I will, I talk a lot of shit saying I'm not going to wear Packers stuff anymore. I'm going to take down my flag, but I'm not going to do any of that. I just talk shit because I can't stop being a Packers fan ever. So, No, I'm just looking forward to seeing what's that video of Matt LaFleur after the Detroit Lions game, like in week 2, week 3, and the second half, he's like, I want to see these guys show some fight, right? That's me. I
Yeah.
want to see the guys show some fight these next 3 weeks. That's all I
Yes.
ask. Just show like you care, man. If you care, I care. You know what I'm saying? Like it means more to us as fans, right? So I'm looking forward to
100%. Yeah, don't quit on us.
that. No. And we won't quit on.
One last thought is, because of where we might land in the season at the end of the season, would you want to see the Green Bay Packers on Hard Knocks next season?
Yes. So if it happens, I would love to, just because then it would give us more of an inside scoop on how everything works. I think that'd be cool to see from that perspective. And I know they would hate it. I know LaFleur would hate it. I know Murphy would hate it.
Yeah.
And I know that they don't want people going inside 1265. So, but the truth is, like, no, I think it'd be cool from a fan experience. I think all of us, would enjoy seeing that, the inner workings of like Green Bay and how it all flows. I think it would be cool, I think.
Yeah. And I think, there would be a lot of people who'd watch that. People outside of the Green Bay fan base. I personally would get HBO to watch that. I've seen a little bit of hard Knocks here and there, man, but I do not get HBO and do Hard Knocks. But this would make me do it.
Hell yeah, man! I would love to do that. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah. Todd thinks that Packers Bears will get flexed to end the season.
Could happen.
I'd love to see that. But other than that, Todd also says, have a green and gold Christmas, boys. Going to be see grass instead of snow here in Green Bay. But hey, just want to say thank you for everyone for stopping by and joining us tonight. Maybe we'll do a off night show. We'll sneak one in there somewhere. I'm on Christmas break, dude. So you let me know and we can make it happen so we can talk about this Panthers game. Thanks again for stopping by. This is Coast to Coast Packers. I'm Bernie Bango, and this is
Amar and Bernie. Sign off. Go Pack, guys.